I don't think Jarrett. Have you ever been here for this segment? What we're about to do, hypothetical?
I have not.
Ooh,
my favorite segment.
So
I've gotten less wrong than Levi.
that's true.
I think everybody has. If you flipped a coin, you would get less wrong. So
To be fair, we have the same amount right also.
That's true. But you've never even had to try. So we're gonna do something.
I was thinking of you at home, like making the guesses when you listen.
Oh.
No, we're like recorded stats.
Yeah. Did you ever guess at home?
I did.
Were you ever right?
Get it right?
No.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah.
Sweet.
My brother.
My Bruda. So our plan here is to bring a segment back from season 4. We did like a discussion about cults or something like that, and out of that came this idea to run a game where we would hear a description of a cult, and we would have to decide whether or not we think it is a real cult or it is a hypothetical cult, which we call a hypotheti-CULT, right?
Yep.
And then, this is important, we have to remember, we don't get the results until the end of the episode. So we have to make a guess. Do we think it's cult or hypotheti-CULT? And then at the end of the episode, we'll hear a reveal if it was or wasn't, right? So we have to remember to do that. Because
there was one that we did not.
I
And
think
then we
there
had
might
to.
have been. There was one we almost forgot. And then
There was one we
did
almost
forget.
forgot, and then one we entirely did and had to come back in and re-record.
Yeah. And that was the one where it was just you and I
Yeah,
recording.
because Shibbles had to leave
and
early.
he had to leave. And so we had to like turn the recording back on, run in and go, whoa.
We also had to turn our recording off as well. And then we were like, yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
It was funny. But we're going to do another round of that. If you remember, that started with like me creating or finding a real one and presenting it to Levi. And then the last way we did it, instead, we had our producer go out into the internet, either find a description of real cult or create one, right? And now we all get to play. So if you also, what Jarrett and Levi were talking about here is we had kind of a score, how well people were doing. And Levi was batting negative 1,000. Levi hadn't ever gotten a single one right. I think he was 0-5, something like that last season. So we've been informed by our producer, Shibs, that because this is a new season, now I may disagree with this ruling, but because this is a new season, scores have been reset. We just you're going down from the other room, I think.
Yeah.
Scores have been reset. So Levi is still at 0. So his score hasn't really changed. But
no, my score has changed.
That's true. You're no longer.
My score is still 0, but I have no losses.
You're not 0 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I'm not
that's true.
0-5.
That's true.
I'm 0-0.
So your KD has changed.
My
but your
KD
kill
gets
count hasn't
reset,
changed. Yeah. So Levi's at 0. Let's remember that. But now Jarrett and I are both also at 0. Bummer. So we're going to go ahead and do that, cult or hypothetical. We're going to have our producer jump on microphone and read to us this description and listen along with us, right? We want to hear your guesses. Write them down in the comments. Do you think it's a cult or a hypothetical when you hear this? And then at the end of the episode, we'll all get to hear the truth.
All right. Are we ready to play?
Do you want to play a game?
So ready.
Tricycle rolls into the room.
Yeah.
This cult game.
If you look down, all your ankles are actually handcuffed to your chair.
Is it a cult or a hypothetical?
Okay, so we have 2 cults here.
2?
You're going to have to guess which one is real and which one is a hypothetical. All right. Option 1. Order of the Solar Temple. Also referred to as OTS, this cult was a new religious movement and secret society founded in 1984 in Switzerland by Joseph de Mambro and Luc Juret. They claimed it was a continuation of the Knights Templar and incorporated beliefs from Rosicrucianism, Theosophy, and New Age ideas. The OTS became notorious for the mass deaths of over 70 of its members by murder or suicide in the 1990s. The organization's teaching included the belief in an imminent worldwide catastrophe and the need to enter a higher spiritual plane by committing suicide.
Okay.
Wholesome.
Sounds rough. OTS.
Option 2.
TTOGO.
Via Paupertatis.
Wait, sorry, what?
Via Paupertatis. Roughly translating to path of poverty. This cult is mentioned in history briefly and in very few sources. Its founding members were never documented. However, Via Paupertatis thrived in Spain and Portugal in the latter decades of the 18th century, promising secret knowledge and spiritual ascendance by giving up attachment to material wealth and possessions. Its leaders ironically lived very luxurious lifestyles. Cult scholars believe that Via Paupertatis likely would have survived much longer had it not caught the attention of King Ferdinand VII, who believed it to be a threat to his rule and had it rooted out.
Ooh.
They both sound so believable.
Yeah. He did a good job for one of them and good job finding the other one, you know? Unless did you lie to us? And is one a cult and one's
Yeah, there's no
hypothetical?
trick question. One
that's
is
not a
one,
trick.
one is the other.
Well, the fake one is one I'm thinking of starting, so.
But like one is real, right? And one is fake.
Absolutely. one
Yeah.
is real.
Okay.
Okay. I don't want to be tricked again, okay?
Yeah. I want to because this is a podcast, discuss what I'm thinking and we come to our conclusions. But then if I do that, I also want to win. So I don't want to I don't want to sway you and so that you're right with me, you know?
Dude, I'm kind of on the fence, but
So just tell me what you're thinking so that I can decide the other way.
Yeah, I'm hard locked into my opinion right
Oh, you
Oh,
already
you
got
are?
it?
now. And I have no justifiable reason for it. I'm just like, this is what I thought starting, and now if I change it, then I'm going to end up like Levi. So
We probably should talk about it because it won't be as interesting.
it
if
won't
we
be
just
as
decide.
interesting if you just decide. So
Yeah.
why are
What are
you
you
locked
thinking?
in?
I don't want to. I don't want to.
It's just a game, guys. It's just a game.
Yeah, it's just a game that I want to win.
Jarrett,
Yeah.
don't tell what you're choosing. Just give your reason. The one you're choosing.
I think based on certain elements of the delivery, I was able to discern which one is more likely to be fake.
Really?
Oh, okay.
So you're playing a mentalist game over there, huh?
I'm reading Shibley, not the.
Not the actual cults.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have a better view of Shivs in there too. Was he
He's trying to put
snickering?
He's trying to put down the blinds so that we can't see him.
I have direct line of sight to Shibley.
Yeah. I'm just gonna talk about it. The first one sounded. I was like, there's a lot of detail here, and also thinking somewhat psychological. I guess which one, the way he would go about it. I feel like he would put a lot of detail in the fake one. And then the second one, between the two of them, the second one sounds more real, in the sense that it's more realistically oh yeah, very natural for humans to go oh, I'm going to pursue poverty and somehow that will bring out ascendance in my life.
and then the leaders are all
And
wealthy.
then exactly,
Yeah.
but the leaders are secret. That sounds really real. But also, I know how
feel-
much Shibs likes to talk about, politics and how the hypocrisy in
Yeah.
certain political movements, and it sounds a lot like a specific political movement that I've talked to Shibley about a lot.
yeah.
So what if he just took that and was like, meh. But the first one, sorry, Levi, what were your thoughts?
I feel like it's the second one that's fake.
Really?
That's the way that I'm leaning towards because
Because it feels more real? You're afraid of being fooled?
well, there's that. But I don't know, just because it was a little bit more vague
It was.
and I feel like he's trying to play into more of that with the descriptions of things, and I mean, I could be plenty wrong. Odds are I'm probably wrong. But I feel like, adding in the king had it destroyed and stuff, it was there's a very specific king, and
Well, we got dates and numbers, stats. in the
I
first
know,
one.
but the other one was more recent,
Yeah, that's the recency
It wasn't
of
in
the
the
first one.
It wasn't in the 1800s.
Yeah. Well, then if we have date, he says we don't have very much info, and I guess if it's 1800s, we're not going to have a lot of info about a cult. But that's true. The thing that made me suspicious about the second one was at the very beginning when he goes, like basically gave an out. Like, we don't have very much info about this because it's only mentioned a few places in history. It's like, That's a nice way of saying you made it up.
Well, no, not that. Just because the made up ones are like historically have a little bit more information, maybe. Then he's trying to play into it by not having as much information in the made up one.
Oh,
that's what I'm.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
Okay,
you know what
cool.
did it for me is, and it's kind of cheating, when he made his joke of, well, I'm planning on creating the fake one. Ha ha ha. Do I think he would plan to get wealthy, or do I think he would plan a murder-suicide cult?
I think if Chris was going to joke about, like, if Shibs had made one of those up, which we know he did, and he was going to joke about, I'm starting it, I think it would be the one that's, like, the way he would
murder
be,
suicide cult?
yeah, he would be joking
100%.
in that way. Like,
yeah.
we got it really funny. I guess we're not going to find out for a little while. So, yeah, we got to lock in some answers here.
I think
Are we locking them in? We can't change them later? I mean, we totally could. We just can't change it before it's...
Lock them in.
I think number 2 is the fake one.
So I'm on my own here?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Dancing.
Hey, Jarrett, we're going down together, you know?
I
You know
feel
what?
like I'm wrong.
Are you
but-
going to switch now?
No. We're riding this together. You and I this season
100%.
stepping it up.
Stepping it up.
All right, then I'm stepping down. And I don't want to go with the pack here. I want, like, I think it's better to give a contest. And my first instinct was that the first one is fake. And,
If your friends
wait,
become Christian,
I just
are
said
you
the
going to
same thing as
become a
you,
Christian
didn't I?
too?
Yeah, no, I think that you guys said the second one's fake, right? Yeah, and I was
Yeah,
saying that
second
I
is
think the
fake.
second one is real. So I'm going OTS. It sounds like OBS. Just gonna say it. That was my smoking gun.
Okay, that's strange. You know, that doesn't make any sense, but continue.
I think that OTS is a hypothetical cult, and that ventriloquism is the cult, or whatever it was called.
Ventriloquism.
Ventriloquism is a cult.
What was
For
it called?
real.
Vitiligo?
Via
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 dociclitis. Sorry?
Via Paupertatis.
Paupertatis.
Man, I want to look that up. I'm sure it means what he said it means.
But your answers are now locked in.
Yeah.
But our answers are now locked in.
We're locked in.
Via Paupertatis.
We're Paupertatis.
Via Paupertatis. All right, there it is. Cult or hypothetical. Let us know in the comments what you think. Which one is the cult? Which one's the hypothetical cult? Maybe you've heard of these before. Well, you've presumably not heard of both of them. Maybe you've heard of the one before. Maybe you got some fun information and facts about it. Drop it down in the comments below. Also,
Yeah,
if
were you a part of them?
well, then that means that the second one's real. Because if they were part of the first one, then they wouldn't be commenting.
What? You
Murder,
could have
suicide.
been a part of it and then left.
Nope, they all died. That's the murder part. So the suicide is the people that stick around. The people that try and leave,
Everybody that
get
wants
murdered.
to get out. Hey, man, I'm just not feeling it anymore.
Murder. So, also, if you think you have a hypothetical that you could stump us with, go to, I guess, email our producer at... We'll cut this out.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Chris at ChristianInfluence.net.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Chris at ChristianInfluence.net. What was the...
It's just really funny that its whole thing, for some reason, very funny to me.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, email Chris at ChristianInfluence.net and let us, give us a shot to be stumped by your hypothetical, and we'll destroy you. We
You
will.
have to provide a real one as to go along with it.
What?
Well, we also, originally the game we played,
It
it
was
was
just
like
like
one is presented, and we have to guess, is it real or is it fake? So they could do it either way. Like, if they only have a hypothetical, then, like, they could present that, or they could just send in a real one to try and stump us. Because then...
Does having two to begin with, does that count if you're correct? Is that two
2
wins?
points?
And if you lose, is that two
I
losses?
just have figured, like, this is a
or
special
is this
edition.
just 1 and 1?
I think it's one.
I think it's one.
Yeah,
Because you're
originally...
only making the
You don't
choice
want to
of-
go double or nothing?
Yeah, but if
Double
if
or
we're-
-2.
But if we're wrong, then we do wrong.
Dude, if I'm wrong, I'm going negative the
I think
entire
it's-
thing, so it
I
doesn't
think
matter.
the
to
score
me.
is wins. Like we're playing the game, you win or lose, right? Because originally the game was designed, you're presented one, and you're guessing, is it real or is it fake? And Shibs is doing it now where he's presenting two, and you're guessing which is real and which is fake. I kind of like the other way more. Because then it's like it could be either, and then you're not comparing it. But I like doing it both ways, like from time to time. It'd be cool to go back and forth. So I think they could send in either. They can send us a real and a fake, or send a real or send a fake, and just tell us, which mode of the game you want it to be.
Tell me in particular.
No,
please.
don't message Levi. Don't email
Yeah, you
Levi.
can find me
This
on
is why
Discord.
I didn't give you my email or my Discord. Email the producer. So that would be fun, though. It'd be fun to get people involved in that way. We have a result that we need to hear from our producer. Who was right? Who was wrong? Cult or hypotheti-cult? Ventriloquism, OBS.
All right. So just as a recap, our two options were Order of the Solar Temple, Suicide Cult.
Parentheses. Suicide cult.
Wasn't it a suicide murder cult? He's
Sui-
changing
Suicide
what it
Murder
was.
Cult. You're right. The murders is in there too. Mass deaths of over 70 members.
Yep.
Or via Paupertatis, the path of poverty. Wink, wink.
Oh, did he just tell us?
No, the leaders live lives of luxury.
Oh.
Yeah.
Path of poverty. Wink, wink. All right.
And our answers were, you guys said that OTS is
Path
real.
of poverty is bad.
Hypothetical.
OTS is real.
Right. And I'm saying OTS is the hypothetical cult and Path of Poverty is real.
Yeah.
All right.
Who's the winner?
And Jerry starts off the season with a loss.
As soon as he said my name, I was like, dang. So ventriloquism
Man,
was fake.
I love this segment. This segment's great. I love it. Best thing in the world.
Is there any more info then on the true one on OTS? Or is that all the...
Yeah, there was a lot of detail on it. I actually pulled some out, so it could be potentially seem fake. So it was Geneva, Switzerland specifically.
Wow.
I was thinking about pulling out the founders' names because I would never.
That first one, I don't even remember. It
I
sounded
knew it,
made up.
Bro and Luke Jarrett.
Yeah.
But if I pulled them out, I feel like it would have made my because I was quickly putting the second one together. I was like, I don't want to come up with a name.
Great.
of
You fooled me
founder.
with a quick one.
Until I heard the second one, I thought that one was the fake because I'm like, oh, he just twisted my name as one of the founders.
Oh.
Luke Jarrett.
Luke Jarrett.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I see it.
Well, egg on my face. I lost.
Get wrecked.
Well
son.
done,
I should have
Shibs.
an egg prepared
Dude,
for every time he says
100% win rate.
100% win rate.
How does this-
100% loss rate.
that. You know what? You're right. I think it should count for
Yeah,
2 points.
I was telling you the whole time.
Just like our answers, that was locked in. All right.
no,
Thank you
I
guys.
was locked in with the two. With
Yeah,
the
but
two
you were
or two.
You were 2 for 1, is what I'm saying. He locked that in 2 to 1. Nope. Sorry.
Tell us
So-
what you think the right answer should be. Should it be 2-0 me?
No, you
or should it be
agreed
1-0?
with me when I said, yeah, it's like one game. You're like, yeah.
I still think that the 2-point system.
So egg on his face. I actually do have an egg. Whoa! No. Oh, I had an egg this whole time just
We'll
for
have
that.
Tim edit that in.
Tim, edit an egg. That's a good sound effect. We should say that.